Hi guys, it's Robyn and welcome to my channel where I'm going to be showing you how to make this trendy little frog cake. It's so ugly, it's cute, and it's super easy to make too. So I'm really excited to make one for all of you. So let's get into it. So today's cake, we're using two 6-inch vanilla cake layers, which I am leveling out so that way when we stack and fill our cake, everything stays nice and level and straight. So to fill our layers, I want my slice to be as beautiful on the inside as it is on the outside. So I'm taking all the colors that I mixed up and we're going to pipe a rainbow inside the middle of our cake. Now I'm just taking my small offset spatula and I'm smoothing this out to try to help combat air bubbles from forming in between when I add my second layer of cake. And this cake decided to give you guys a little demonstration, so stay tuned to later in the video to see what I mean. So now it's time for our crumb coat, and our base color is blue, so I'm using the same color for my crumb coat too. So I've just filled up a piping bag and we're piping a small amount onto our cake and using a small offset spatula to get it nice and smooth. But this is just a crumb coat, so it doesn't have to be perfect. We just want a nice thin even layer all over before popping it in the fridge to firm up in preparation for our final coat. So once our crumb coat has firmed up, giving us a nice base for our second layer to stick to, I'm taking a piping bag and we're piping a much more generous amount of icing onto our cake this time and using a small offset spatula to spread it around and smooth it out. Keeping in mind that these cakes are supposed to be a little bit messy and a little bit neat, so I'm just going to make a few passes around and leave a rough little edge around the top because I think that'll look really sweet. And now it's time for some decorations. So I filled a piping bag with some white American buttercream. We're going to begin by piping some toadstool stalks of different sizes and lengths all the way around the cake. Now once I'm done, I'm going to take a small offset spatula and we're just going to very carefully smooth each one of these out, making sure that they're not too bulky because we don't want to have too much buttercream on our cake. But don't get me wrong, I love my buttercream, just sometimes when you get a big mouthful, it can be a little sickly sweet. So next up, we're going to pipe our mushroom caps, and for these we're going to be doing them in purple and pink. And we're going to be using the same technique. I just have a piping bag with the tip cut off. I'm not using a piping tip, and we're just piping them very freely. If you like, you can leave them just like that. I think they look really sweet, but I don't want my buttercream to be so bulky. So we're going to take a small smoothing tool and we're going to smush these down and thin them out a bit while smoothing everything out all at the same time. And that little smoothing tool that I'm using was made by yours truly using an X-Acto knife and a flexible cutting board, because when your closest cake shop is about 3 hours away, it pays to be clever and crafty. So once we've finished with those, it's time to jazz these mushroom tops up a little bit and make them fancy. So I've taken a piping bag and I filled it with some more of that white American buttercream we were using earlier, and I'm using a number 2 round piping tip to pipe all these tiny little white polka dots all over our mushroom caps. And don't they look pretty? And now using that same number 2 round piping tip, I've switched over to some green, and now we're going to pipe some little strips of grass very loosely in all different directions all the way around the cake. Now I've had so much fun making this cake so far. I'm so used to making much more complex cakes, so its simplicity has really been like a therapy for me, and if only every cake could be this easy. But even the easiest of cakes have their troubles, as you will see momentarily. My cake has a little gremlin inside trying to mess with me. As you can see, we have a little glass pocket forming, pushing out on the buttercream, but not to worry. If you ever get one, the fix is really easy. You just pop your cake in the fridge, allow it to firm completely, poke a small hole in the bubble, and then push it right back in. Easy peasy. So with our bubble popped and patched, it's time to finish our decorations of little yellow butterflies, big hearts, and then our cute little froggies. So for these little guys, they're really easy. We're just going to use an extra large round piping tip, and we're going to pipe 2 big blobs on top of our cake side by side. Not too neat and not too messy. Then for the arms and the legs and the little tiny heart in their hands, we're using a number 2. Then to finish off our frogs and give them those little bulgy eyes, we're going to use a number 4 round piping tip for the green, and then back to a number 2 for his pupils, and we can't forget those cute little smiles. And we're even going to pipe some happy little faces on our toadstools too. Aren't they so cute? This cake makes my heart so warm and happy, and I hope it makes your hearts happy too. And I know a slice of this cake would be a surefire way to cure anybody's bad mood, so that's exactly what we're going to do. Cheers to all of you, and thanks for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, you know what to do. Leave a big thumbs up and lots of love in the comment section too. And if you haven't done so already and you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you receive a notification every time I post a new video. Thanks for watching.